Is it? Hello.
Hi, Marianne.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you? Hi, Tom.
Oh no, that's me. I'm in charge. Oh, we have two special guests on here tonight.
Thanks.
All right, let's check it out. All right, welcome everybody. Hello, Mr. John Fogg. And all right, we'll give everybody a few minutes.
Put their name in a database, and the next time they walked in the door, you told them their life, like you remembered them from the last time. They would be flipped out, and everybody would win. Contact mapping and the interviewing.
That was the previous. Hi, Marianne.
Good evening, Dr. K.
How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Come this side, please.
I see a spine in the background. Is that a spine?
That is a spine.
Yes, it is.
That's a spine. I can help people improve their spine problems.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
But we combine our spine treatments with the bone and joint pack for everybody.
With the what? Oh, yeah.
Healthy bone and joint pack.
Yep. Perfect. Hello, Mr. Andy.
Hi, Marianne.
Good to see you.
Good to be here. We got the email, so Jean warned me about the time change.
Oh, good. Good. Hello, Miss Pamela and Tarzan and Patrick and Brenda, and oh my gosh, we're filling up now.
Hey, Marianne, hang on one second. Oh, hang on. You put me on mute here. Hey, everybody.
John Fogg.
I am.
Captain, my captain.
Oh, no. Don't go there.
Hello, Ruth Ellen, Ali.
Hey there.
Hey, we got a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right.
That book is great.
Oh, good.
I'm enjoying it very much. Thank you. Hi, Tarzan.
Hi, guys.
How do I get it to not be on the speaker?
Thank you, Marianne.
You are so welcome.
Oh, well. I really hate to be annoying, but.
All right, what do we got going on here?
I'm going to mute myself.
All right.
My backpack that I don't have with me.
As low as I can.
No.
All right. Hello, Mr. Tommy. I'm going to mute everybody. Hang on.
It's not 4.
What?
Let them come in. It's still not. Okay, good. It's not 4:30 yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is very exciting. Very, very exciting. I can't believe it.
Me either. So much to excitement.
Let me know when you see John Fogg and Kim Klaver.
John is on.
Okay.
And I have not seen Kim yet, but I've been chatting with her, so she should be on any minute here.
Send her a note and tell her to get on here.
Okay.
Late plus a good excuse is not on time.
We're here.
Is she here? Oh,
No, we are. We are here.
Yes, we are here. Hold on.
I'm so excited about this. This is really cool. This is great, people. It's going to be an unbelievable time. That's what I'm going to promise you. Look at this. I combed my hair. I don't know if you guys all saw that video earlier, but if you saw me look down at my shirt, I thought I've never noticed that shirt was kind of trashed. And I thought, I can't believe I've never noticed that. And then I ran into Denise and she said, Tom, you know your shirt's inside out. I mean, backwards. So I had my shirt on backwards. So that's why I've never seen the back of it before. So that just proves you do not have to be the smartest nor the most primping person in the world to be successful. That's John, what did I tell you about your resting face? John Fogg. He still can't see me. Oh, that is hilarious. All right. You're muted, John. You've got to unmute. As soon as we see Kim, you've got to unmute John.
Okay. All right.
In fact, I think I'm going to get this started because I love rewarding good behavior. So here we go. So unmute John Fogg. We'll talk about him for a couple seconds till we find Kim. You guys.
Great. Yes, great.
Don't you? Now you're unmuted, so don't cuss, John. So here we go. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. I have got two icons coming on here for you guys because I'm leaving in the middle of this Zoom for Australia. So I'll be on my cell phone listening, but Kim Klaver and John Fogg are going to be carrying the water. I didn't even warn John about that because I thought he'd get all nervous. John lives in Virginia with his beautiful two daughters. He's got another daughter and an older son, but they live in the most beautiful area in Virginia. And he's sitting in his backyard on this plantation he lives on. And I just wanted him to come on and talk a little bit about what's happened to him since he started experiencing. I found Kim Klaver. I was always scared to death of her. And I found her through John Fogg. And the reason I found her was because before she was so product driven and so completely over the top on retail that I thought she and I might have nothing in common. So I've kind of steered clear of her, and she certainly steered clear of me. And it took John Fogg to kind of be the one in the middle that brought us both together. And once I realized what she was really up to, I fell in love with her. And that's what has really happened. And it's been an experience and a half because she's up to exactly what we're up to, exactly what Keith Abel's up to, exactly what Glenn Schultz is up to, exactly what John Clark is up to. It is so exciting. And so what I want you to know is, John, talk about you, because I know you love to. Talk about being the greatest networker, because I know you love to. Talk about speaking and listening, which is your latest magnificent obsession, and then introduce Kim. How's that sound?
Well, 1 out of 3 is not bad.
All right, take it away, baby.
Well, come on now. I am not the greatest networker. I am the guy who wrote the book. I don't like talking about myself as much as Tom likes to tell you that I do, but I love answering questions. And one of the truths about people is that we do love to talk about ourselves, and that's the heart and soul of the coffee shop interview. What do you want to know about Kim? I signed up for Kim's Inner Circle program because I wanted to learn what she was teaching. I don't know how far back I go with Kim. It's been a while, 20 years plus. And excuse me, I had to get a stink bug off my computer. Welcome to the country in Virginia. I hadn't intended, Tom, to really give myself to Kim's selling product business. That was not my intention. I really wanted to learn about it from the speaking and listening thing that is my passion and that I've got going on. But over the course of a couple of weeks, I decided, you know what? I don't want to do this product thing. And since I don't want to do it, it's really clear that it would be good for me to do it. So I've waded into it, and I wrote up a post to use on Facebook, and that got shot down pretty well. And I did another iteration of it, and that got shot down pretty well. And I'm having a begrudging good time giving myself to Kim's instruction. I'm there to learn. So, damn it, John, learn. And that's what I'm doing. More? You want more? So you're waving at
More.
me. Thank you.
More.
More what? More. What do you want to know?
I told her to unmute me, but I figured out how to do it myself.
There we go.
We're going to bring Kim Klaver on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? I don't know if you can or not. Are we good?
We got you. Have you got a camera, Kim?
Yes, I do. Hang on one second.
All right, turn that baby on. And here's the deal, you guys. The reason I wanted John Fogg on here is because I've noticed a difference in John Fogg since he started doing business with Kim Klaver. And John and I are old friends. I mean, you have no idea how old friends we are. And we have a tendency to go around and round and round and round. And John's been really keeping an eye on this page for a few months here. And Kim Klaver's been watching it for about a week and giving me some feedback on how to train you guys better and help you get through. I talked about earlier on that video to keep you from stepping over those mouse turds and tripping over those mouse turds. And what I want to do is have her come on here and give you some wisdom. She's a Harvard grad. She is a great woman. And I tell you, like I said before she got on here, she used to scare the crud out of me because she's so good at what she does. And I thought we were polar opposites, and we are really quite alike. And I hope that didn't completely distress her. But at the end of the day, it is so great to have you on here. So Kim Klaver, one more thing, you guys, she loves interaction. So if you want to chat with her, put a message up. Marianne will turn you on live when she starts talking question and answer. And we are off to the races.
I just lost her.
You lost her?
No, we didn't get lost. Are we here?
Oh,
yeah, we're here.
All right.
No, what happened is I'm just looking to see. I was looking for Tom I can see John. Hey, John, how are you, buddy? Long time no see.
Good, sweetie.
All right. Here we go.
There she is.
Fine.
Woo!
Okay, so yeah, how are you guys?
We are great.
Okay, so let me ask you something. You know, the way I like to do this to help you the most, I'm assuming, how many of you are doing the CSIs on a pretty regular basis? Just wave your little patties in the air. And how many of you are not really doing it very much because it's kind of hard to do? And let's see, Colleen, turn your monitor down, babe. We can't see you. If I'm not going to be shy, you can't be shy. Who else has got their stuff covered up with Band-Aids? You know, when I got started doing the Zoom, I didn't want to do it either. Because it's like, you know, we all get older. And who wants to be older and fatter and have everybody see it, right? So now that I've converted, I make everybody else go crazy. All right, so who is having a hard time doing that? Doing the CSIs, that is approaching people. Is anybody, or y'all doing great? Okay, so let me ask a couple of you. Let's take Ruth Ellen. Yeah. Okay, why don't you unmute your microphone? And let me ask you, are you there? Okay, so how many of these have you actually done? It's okay if it's 1 or 3, so long as it's at least 1. Nobody,
I've done at least.
Nobody cares. I'm going to help you.
At least 15. I've done at least 15.
And when's the last one you did?
Saturday.
Saturday.
No, Sunday. I did one Sunday. I was driving, and I did one while I was driving a limo for a funeral.
Okay. Are you driving a limo? Hot. Aren't you like hot? All right. So, well, I think that's cool. I drove a taxi when I was at the University of Michigan. I made more money than anybody else. I took all the airport runs. And so for you to drive a limo, that's classier than what I did. I just, did a taxi. Okay. So when you go to somebody at a restaurant or when you have the opportunity, what do you say right now?
I just
picture going into the restaurant. Because what I'm going to ask most of you this. What do you say when you move in on the person, right? You walk in the door, you see the restaurant. I mean, I have done this hundreds of times, so I'm like right there this instant, right? So how do you pick who you're going to hit on, so to speak? And then, right, let's just kind of call it what it is. You're going to look for the right people because you need people that have the right energy. You need people that aren't talking on the phone. You need people that are not having a big, deep conversation with somebody else, right?
Right. I look for somebody who's has eye contact with me, and it smiles,
Good.
and seems, approachable.
Good. And then what? What happens next? So those are all, for the rest of you guys, if you have trouble meeting people one-on-one or approaching them one-on-one, I'm going to give you a whole list of things you can do, all of which I've done ad nauseum, and which I would do today. They're just more leveraged ways to do it, but they're also leveraged ways to do stuff online. I mean, not online, in person. And I'm going to show you some of those. But one of them is when you're looking for people, make sure that they are engageable, number one, and that they have life force. You don't want someone who looks like an ingrown toenail.
Right.
Somebody who's all stooped over or they're completely engaged in something else, or they look like somebody you wouldn't even want to do business with. You know what I mean? So you're looking for somebody with a little bit of life force.
Mm-hmm.
That's approachable because they're not involved with somebody else. All right. So then what? So then what's the next step in the dance?
Well, then I'll say, hi, are you having a good day? Or that's a pretty shirt or something like that. Like find something to compliment. And then ask them if they're having a good day, and like what's your favorite drink if we're at Starbucks, or just try to start a conversation.
Okay, and how does that feel doing that?
It's pretty comfortable for me.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable for me most of the time. Sometimes if they're kind of like look at you funny, then I'm like, oh God. And then I'll just wait. And then usually people will start engaging with me when I back off a little bit.
Right.
But, yeah, I feel like I sometimes have more trouble when I set up an appointment with somebody to have coffee for the first time and I don't know them. Right. Then I get a little like, I don't know how to go.
Well, why don't we finish this one? One of the things that one can do, and we used to do this at restaurants, at malls, at Kinko's. We'd stand in line. At night, I would go at night in line between 9 p.m. and midnight. And every single night, because I lived near Kinko's and I lived near a Pete's. And what I would do is stand in line and wait. You go through the line like 5 or 10 times in an evening. And when you're, say, at Kinko's or at a restaurant, one of the things that I like to ask is, do you come here a lot? Is this like a regular hangout for you? Mm-hmm. So you don't ask them how they are because, I wouldn't recommend that just because they know you don't really give a crap. They know something's coming because why would you care how a total stranger is? Let's be honest. Somebody comes to you in the store and says, how are you? You go, what do you want? Right? It's like people on Facebook who approach you and say, oh, how are you, Kim? Or how are you, Tom? There's a hit coming. See, we all know this because we're human. So we've been hit on enough, so we kind of know that. So one thing you could do is just ask like you would if you were not planning to approach them. Do you come here alone? Do you live in the neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Because the goal I always had was to get to what do you do? Now this approach might be a little different. There are many ways to approach and engage people. What I'm showing you is how we did this, and dozens of us would do this ad nauseum. And it's just because, sometimes certain ways work better for some people than others. So I'm giving you alternatives So if anything you're doing is working, for God's sakes, keep doing it. Don't listen to anything I have to say. If something you're doing is working, you ought to get off the webinar. Because if anything's working, it's relatively rare. You can ask Tom. For something to work consistently is rare. Why do you think we're all on these trainings all day and all night? Because we're looking for that thing that works for you and that works for the other person. And once you have that, you hang on to it for dear life. And so one of those, do you hang out here? Do you come here a lot? What do you, like with Kinko's, I would see somebody writing some kind of a book, and I would look in there and say, oh, cool, this is your moonlighting, right? Yeah, I'm moonlighting. So what do you do during the day? Well, I teach. No kidding. What do you do? Right? So I tried to get to what do you do? Just because that is the jumping board for anything you want to do. Is that kind of where you guys are? Are you just looking to find out how are you and what do you need, and kind of the form thing, where you find out what the problems are and then you're going to have a solution? Is that kind of what you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's, that form has been around for God knows when, but there are some other things you could do if that's not your most comfortable thing. Right? So do you think, what if you try that? So do you come here a lot? Right? Would that work for you?
Right. Yes.
Right? Do you come here a lot? Do you live nearby? Yeah, I live, 8 blocks away. We're driving in from, Tallahassee or whatever. So then you could say, so what do you do? Right? You just kind of you monitor the engagement level. What do you do? And they're going to say, yada, yada, yada. What do they do? And if it's a curious person, which is the only type you want in your business, if you have people that are not curious, they're never going to amount to a hill of beans. You have to be curious to make stuff happen. Do you know what I mean? Do you like uncurious people? They're kind of boring, right? They don't do anything. They're, well, I don't know, whatever you want. No, you don't want those guys. You want people who are going to do stuff and make stuff happen. So if somebody says, what do you do? Back to you. So what do you say then?
Oh, that's where I get all
right.
right.
I got it, honey. It's the industry is plagued with this problem. What do you do? And everybody goes, blah, blah. Well, so what's your best shot? Give me your best shot.
Well, I'll say I'm a health and wellness coach, or I'll say that I'm a network marketer, or I'll say, and then
that's okay.
And then
I've heard much worse than this.
And then I'll say I've come up with, sometimes I say I help people regain their health and wealth, or help them, accomplish their dreams, or I don't know. It just depends.
Right?
They don't always,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else that's here that can unmute? And do you have any other options for when somebody says, so what do you do? First of all, do you guys agree that getting to the what do you do is a good place to get?
Yeah.
If you knew what to say? Is there anybody who doesn't agree? I'm going to look right here and see where you guys are. Kamala, I see you smiling over there, girlfriend. I see you on. Okay, so do y'all agree that's a nice place to want to get? Julia, you guys? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if you don't agree, tell me, because it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you want, we can make something happen that it might surprise you. All right, so if you want to get to what do you do, I have a different answer, and I'd like to try it on you, and then I want you to say it. I want to hear you guys say it, and then I want you to tell me how you feel after you say it. Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody says, so what do you do? So what if I said, I have my own business. What do you do?
I can do that.
Let me hear you. So what do you do?
I have my own business. What do you do?
Good. So do you see, what would you say next if you were her person? If you were the other person? What would you say next? I have my own business. What do you do? Then what? What would you say if you were at the other end of that?
Oh, I would tell you what I do.
No, but nothing more. Say that we said, so I say to you, what do you do? You say, I
drive a limo.
Right? Or something like that. And then you say to me, what do you do? And I say, well, I have my own business. What do you do? No, sorry. If you ask me and I say to you, I have my own business, what do you do? What are you likely to say to me back?
I drive a limo.
What's that?
I'd say that's really cool. Tell me more.
Yeah, what do you like? What? Right?
Okay. Say, what type of business do you have?
This is a trick question for the brain, and that's why we like to use it. So somebody says, so what do you do? And you go, well, I have my own business. What do you do? You've answered, but there's what they call an open loop, which is jargon for you really didn't answer. Because I have my own business. What do you do? Boom, right away. Off you on to them, right? And it's like, well, so what have you done? They pause because the brain just figured out she didn't really tell me anything. Because, right? You don't really know anything. You kind of like, well, she has her own business. Well, doing what? So at that instant, when they say, so what is it doing? You've got the only thing that matters in our society, and that is attention. You have somebody's attention at that moment, right? Because they just leaned in because they missed it. They think they missed it. And it works on all brains, just about all, except on curious people whom you don't want in your business, right? So they go, well, so, like, what do you do? And then you could say, I don't know if any of you have the Orange Book. It comes with little scripts. I have a free one if you guys want at the end. And you don't need to have it at all. Doesn't matter to me at all. It's just so the script making stuff is in there. You could say, well, I market this product. I tell you one I had that we used at Kinko's. I market this product for people who know they should get their 5 to 7 fruits and veggies. And I can make yours, so don't worry. But they don't get them. They know they should get them, but they don't. Like me, like the way I used to be. And so do you know anyone who might like to know about something like that? Right?
Right.
So you get their attention, and when you, let me see here. I'm going to have you do something. Ruth Ellen, why don't you stand up? I can see you. Pop up. There you go. And turn your monitor on so I can see your smile. Great. All right. I'm going to do this, and you're going to, whoop, there went your camera. Oh, she lost her whole thing.
Who, me? Ruth Ellen did?
No, there you are. No, we got you. Yeah, Melinda, I think maybe she's scared. Don't be afraid. This is how you get good. You do this stuff and you get like totally, you're so hot, Tom is going to go, oh, how'd you get so good? You tell me I did this one little trick thing, see? All right, so I'm going to say to you, so what do you do? I want to hear the answer. You remember your line, right? Except
I have my...
Here, hang on. I want to see your girlfriend. Hang on a second. Where did you go?
Do you want me to sit back down?
No, I want you to stand up. I'm just looking for you on my monitor.
I'm going to make her big. I'll make her really big.
No, I got you. There you are. Oh, good. Okay, so you're standing up. Okay, so I'm going to sock it to you. Okay, so what do you do? Let me hear.
I have my own business. What do you do?
Okay, so now how did it make you feel when you said that?
Good.
Yeah? As opposed to like,
oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to look more stupid the minute I say it, right? So, Pam, what about you? Could you, if I said to you, what do you do? Could you say right now, I have my own business. What do you do? Let me hear.
I have my own business. What do you do?
Okay, good. You got it. Let me see who else do we have. Ali. Yes, I see your iPhone. You're looking. God, what a great head of hair. Ooh, don't sit down yet, Mademoiselle.
Okay.
So, Ali, what do you do?
I have my own business. What do you do?
Oh, man, you're hot. You're good. You got attitude, right? So does this empower you a little bit so you don't feel like some wuss that doesn't know what to do, what to say, and you kind of go, well, I'm trying to sell you something. Can't you see? Right? Because you don't want to be that person. So, Priscilla, you look kind of shy, so let me hit on you. So what do you do? Miss Priscilla Maynard. Yeah, babe, unmute.
Hold on. I'm unmuting. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so what do you do?
Hi, I have my own business. What do you do?
How's that feel?
Feels good.
Yeah, huh? Yeah,
if I get people to that point.
Well, that's the key. But see, if you're going to do your restaurant routines and your outdoor routines, and there's a little secret, it's like the dance. There's a little dance in meeting people where if you see you made a mistake approaching them, they're not going to look at you and go, oh my God, that's one of those people doing one of those things, get away across the street. Because you'll never have done anything abnormal. See, like, how are you? And when you haven't even met the person, and you really, how could you care, right? They're going to think, how could you possibly care? Okay, so then they say, so what do you do? So what we did is, one of the products I've marketed is fruits and veggies in capsules. And I got a little bit of a lowdown on some of the stuff that you guys market. And I'll show you how you can do it with that, depending on your story. We had these fruits and veggies in capsules. So what I said was, we market, so the person would say, well, so what is it that you do? You have your own business, what do you do? And I said, well, I market this product for people who know they should. That was my line. And you each will have your own. Who know they should get their 5 to 7 fruits and veggies every day, but they don't. Right? So it's a very specific, they know they should, but they don't. You see that? Say yes. Got it?
Yes. Yes.
And so, like the way I used to be. Of course, I never was like that. I was somebody who couldn't get enough. So then, do you know anyone who might like to know about something like that? Now, notice at the end, what you do is you let the person off the hook. It's not them. Right? Do you know anyone? If you do, let me know. Otherwise, great to see you. See you again. I got a race. Bye. Always be first to say no. Be first to say goodbye. Be first to hang up. Always. You always want to do that so that you're never looking needy.
Okay.
So what you can do for some of yours, that's what we did. For somebody who knows they should, like I did, but they don't. Do you know anyone who might like to know about something like that? Okay, so who here has you want to hear some of these? Should I make some of these for you guys for the products that you like? So you have something to say when they say, what do you do? You tell me.
Sure.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Okay, so, why don't we stay with our first brave soul, which is, where she is. Where is she?
Here I am.
There she is. Okay, well, anyone else, just unmute yourself. Okay, so give me a before and after for this particular approach that I'm giving you here. There are many ways to do this, but I give you this one first because it's the easiest. Why? It's got your experience, and nobody can take that away from you. Many years ago, I ran a meeting, and we had, 500 people in there, and I was promoting this particular fruits and veggies and capsule product, and we had gotten really big meetings out there in San Francisco, and our meetings were bigger than the corporate meetings when they came out, so we had big ones. And so these 4 guys in black suits came all to sit in the back of the room, and I was in the front of the room, and we had our, stuff, and I was telling them about, why I was doing the business and about, the product and whatnot. And one of these guys stands up in the back, and he says, Miss Klaver, it's like, they looked like the men in black, and he says, we understand that your product has filler in it, filler, F-I-L-L-E-R. And we want to know what you think about that, because here you are promoting a product, and we understand that there's filler. It's not really all fruits and veggie nutrients. It's got a lot of filler in it. Would you dare to comment, right? So that's when that day, it's all on video, so it's just really funny. But what I said was, well, I don't really know if there's filler in it or not. I haven't been to the plant, in some time. But if there is filler in it, it's the best product with filler in it that I've ever had. I wouldn't want them to change the formula because I've had a lot of good before and afters with this product, with whatever filler you say is in it. I wouldn't want them to change the formula. Let me just say that. And why? I didn't have to think about it 1 minute because I had my before and after story. See? I knew what it had done for me. Unless you told me it was poison and I was going to drop dead in like 3 hours, I wouldn't have cared what they say because I have my story. And your story on your before and after really matters. Now, you may have a story that's really not so big before and after on the product. It might be that you say, well, I like this product so much because I've been looking for something to market. I liked it so much I decided to go into business and market it for myself. That's how you introduce the business to these same customers, right? Because what does it tell them? Well, I guess I could even do a business. Like she just said, she liked it so much, she started her own business. I want to start my own business. So you talk like a normal person, you see? That's really the idea. To sound like you're normal and not one of those people doing one of those things. So if you have a before and after, Marianne was telling me you have a vitamin package program. Who's got a good before and after here with any product that you've got? That's a pretty strong one. If you just raise your hand or unmute yourself, let me hear your story and I'll put it into a script for you if you like.
Oh, look, it's Ruth again.
I do. I I have a
Okay.
great story. So I had hurt myself when I was driving. I fell and I hurt my neck, and I had vertigo for a month and a half.
Mhm.
And my body was not in good shape, so I couldn't hold my adjustment when I went to the chiropractor. And I was in a lot of pain, and I started taking the bone and joint pack, and within 30 days, within 3 days, I was sleeping all night. And then after a month, then I was able to not go to the chiropractor 3 times a week. And my vertigo was like, I could move and stand up and sit up and lay down and everything, and it was gone. And by the time it went from March until the end of April, beginning of May, I had this click in my back that was gone. And by June, I was able to drive 300 miles, which I hadn't been able to do. And basically, I've lost 75 pounds taking this, and it's changed my life.
Okay, so if you were to pick, like, say, one thing, because when you tell somebody a before and after, you want to kind of do one thing at a time. So which one meant more to you? That you were able to drop 70 pounds finally? Or that you, because they both have different markets, and you're going to get really good at each one, but you want to do one at a time so the person can process, right? Or that you had an accident and you couldn't get your back working, and now finally it seems to be working again.
Yeah, that's more significant. The weight is awesome.
Yeah.
But that one is more significant to me because it speaks to a lot of people.
No, that's not the answer. The answer you want is what speaks to you. Because there are 2 ways to market. One is you ask people what they want and you give it to them. That's what a lot of people do. And you should, if you're going to go after a whole market, like develop a consult service or something like that. But when you have a good story of any before and after, then you are yourself part of a market. And the market is people who have that problem and still want to get it resolved and would like to do it in some way that's not a doctor, not drugs, not any of the things that you didn't do. Do you see what I mean? So as a member of the market, you can speak to other members of the market. That's why your own story is so effective, even if it's just about one product line, right? So what you might say is, somebody says, so what's your before and after? Say, so what do you do? I have my own business. Well, really, so like, what's it doing? Well, I market this product that for people who blah, blah, blah. What would be your before and after, using yourself as that story?
What would be my before and after is...
So what was your precondition, right? You had some kind of an accident?
Okay, so I fell at work, and my leg wouldn't bend. So the way I fell jarred my neck.
Like I did, because I fell at work, and?
I fell at work, and I don't know.
And what?
I'm getting nervous.
Oh, good. Well, it's going to be done in a minute. You got some Baileys or something? Go ahead and have a swig of something. Whatever it takes, right?
Okay.
That's all right. You're almost there. Let me ask you. I'll ask you questions, and then it'll be easier. Okay. All right. So you fell at work, and so your back got kind of out of whack, and you couldn't walk around straight. I got that. We can tell that. So did you try anything else? Did you try anything to help it besides this product that you're taking?
Well, I went to the chiropractor.
Good.
And it helped
some.
Bit.
Yep.
But it wouldn't hold. Like my neck would not stay in place. So.
So it didn't really help to make it perfect.
No, and I took 3 Advil and 2 Tylenol, like 2 to 3.
Perfect. So I did all this stuff, and then I also tried this product. What is it? A vitamin mix, or what do you? Don't give the product name, but what is it like? A spray or pills or drink or what?
It's a combination of supplements. It's the Tangy Tangerine, the Beyond OsteoFX, the Essential Fatty Acids.
Any of that? No technical about it. So what you want is I took this.
I did the whole bone and joint pack.
Yeah, well, you could say, so I took this kind of crazy supplement that I have. Because crazy supplement, because is that normal language? Yeah, everybody can understand this kind of this crazy supplement. And when you explain everything, they'll say, yeah, it is crazy. And so I figured it's not going to do anything, right? It's not going to do anything. But I'm going to, because I got the chiropractor, I got the Advil, I got all this stuff. It's not going to do anything. But then it did. And 3 weeks later, I didn't need the chiropractor anymore. I didn't need the Advil anymore. And this crazy supplement is the thing that I think fixed me the most. So do you know anyone who might like to know about something like that?
It's pretty good.
Well, it's your story.
I know somebody who wants that.
Yeah, you see, and suddenly it's, so the idea of the before and after with your product is nobody cares about the name of the product. I hate to tell you. They don't. That's why you think of names. There's this kind of crazy supplement. It's really pretty weird. And I didn't really think it was going to work. But what have I got to lose? I'm taking Advil already. I'm taking Tylenol. I'm going to the chiropractor. So I try this, and lo and behold, the adjustments start sticking. I didn't need the Advil anymore. And this crazy little supplement is really what did it. The super duper supplement that I happen to have. And I liked it so much, I decided to market it. Right? You could add that.
Right.
Because that is what you're doing at that moment. You are marketing. This is called marketing. It's creating desire and demand. And it may not be in that other person, but it's so specific that they'll go, well, my Aunt Lulu, she just fell on her butt and she can't do anything. Could her super duper thing work for you? For her? And then guess what you're going to say? It will not be the obvious. What's the obvious? What do all network marketers say? Is it going to work for her?
Yes, it's going to work for her.
Oh, yeah, sure, right. As if, right? We know. So what do you do if you want to be a cool advisor?
Well, I know that it worked for me.
Right. I don't know if it's going to work for her or not. But what if it works for her the way it works for me?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, duh. I got to go. See you later. Wait. What was the name of that thing? That's what you want to do. Do y'all see how that works? Pamela, you got that. You're beaming. This is a good thing. And I see you guys. See this. So it's really to try to always create demand for what you've got. And you want to always leave people hanging. Right?
Yeah.
Don't ever answer the whole way. Like, for example, one of your guys, John, has a little story, and we're kind of fooling with what kinds of things could he put out there. And, one of them is that he, has this kind of story, which I would totally take advantage of because I would write the same kind of story. If you're an old fart and you figure you can't even mow the lawn and suddenly you're mowing the lawn and you got your sexy back and you didn't do drugs, you didn't do surgery, you didn't get any member replacements. If you want to know what I did, ping me. Half the men that are listening to him would ping him and say, what the hell did you do? What do you mean you're doing that lawn like you were 16? You got your sexy back, you got this back. And I didn't even have to do drugs or do, what's an alternative for Viagra, right? I didn't need anything. I got my back. And so that is an issue that a lot of people have. So it's issue-based. And I didn't do any of these things that people normally do. And so if you're interested in that, send me a little message. I'll let you know. These are one of 5,000 stories we could create based on any of your experiences. They're endless. They're just endless. And what you also want to do, I'm assuming, so for you, that would be one story that you could tell, right? And you could put something like that not only in the store, but you could you could put it on Facebook, but one piece at a time. So the person has to say, well, so what is it that you did? Well, what's the next question? You're going to say, oh, it's longevity. That's going to destroy it. You're telling, this is like a movie. So you want to say, well, I'm glad you asked. What's your story right now? Are you somebody who can't even mow the lawn either? Like I used to be? Where are you now? What's your interest here? And they'll say, well, I can't, I don't know. I can't paint the house. My wife wants me to paint the living room and I can't even get on the ladder and do it because I'm too fat or too slow or too this. Have you done anything for that before? Like, have you been on any regimes? Have you, been to the fat farm? Do you go on diets? Do you change how you eat? Blah, blah. And the person tells you this whole thing. So you have an idea of where they are. Say, well, I don't know if this could help you or not, but I guess you could try it. However, let me warn you, you have to stay on it for 90 days. Otherwise, it's not going to work. From the day I started this industry, 27 years ago. The second product I ever marketed was one of these monthly things. And the company would sell monthly supplies. And I thought, that's like stupid. What are you going to do with 30 days? So I told all my team, we're not doing that. We're going to sell 4-month supplies. The box came in 4 months. So somebody would say, well, I'd like to try it. Say, great, you can. It comes in 4-month supply. Can I try a month? No. Why not? Well, because price is not going to work. I mean, look how long it took you to get to your current condition. You haven't eaten fruits and veggies in what, 20 years? You think 30 days is it's not going to happen. So if you don't want to try it for a month, that's fine. You don't have to do it at all. I'll give, one of my other people will help you. But for me, my people that I work with, you've got to try 90 days. Why? I want to see if it's going to help you or not. And we got nothing but 90-day orders. I wouldn't do it for any less for anything. But you see, it comes not because you need the money, but because you know the trends. It's a supplement, for God's sakes. We're not talking about eating differently. You're selling supplements. That is a supplement, a small percent of a big thing, which is how you eat. And if a person eats crappy food and drinks crappy drinks and sleeps crappy hours and keeps a crappy life, do you really think a few pills every other day when they remember to take them is going to make a difference? And who do you think they're going to blame? Well, this doesn't work. Well, I guess not if you don't do it. How's it going to work? So we had people who stuck and they had stories, and those stories helped them when they went to the next place. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
All right, cool. So I think we got some good ones. Does anybody have a story that they want me to help them with, or any approaches or anything like that? I can help you do that. So you know how to approach somebody going into the restaurant, right? So Sharon, let me hear from you. When you go in, what do you say to somebody? Have you got that down pretty much? If you're going to do that, Ms. Sharon.
This Sharon?
Yeah, I see you, honey. I see you.
I just say, hi, how are you? And just start talking, see how they are in health.
Yeah, you could do that. You could also say, like, if you're in the restaurant, so when you do I'm used to doing Kinko's, bank lines, unemployment office lines, because usually you're in a line and you can kind of see the person, and kind of say, so you come here a lot. Now in the restaurant, when you walk into a restaurant, how do you decide who you're going to see, who you're going to talk to?
Well, I don't usually do. That's my problem. I don't know who to approach. I don't know who looks like they. But yeah, you're right. I'll say, how are you? It's a nice dress you have on today, or I like your hairdo, or something like that.
Well, you know what you could do, and this is what I would do if I were someone like you. I want to see that lady on my screen because you're exactly the person I want to be talking to right now. Yeah. When you are kind of the place where you are and you kind of feel it's like undignified to go over and I bet that's how you feel, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so I know exactly how that is. My mom would say, Kim, how, really? And it's like, well, I just can't help. I'm just going to do it. So here's what you might consider. When you're walking into the place, sit down and kind of scope out the place and scope out people that are somewhat, that look like they're, have life force and can make some eye contact. Mm-hmm. And then I would get up and leave the restaurant and get your things together, right? And I would probably walk back in and walk to that person. And you might even have a clipboard in your hand. It's not really sure, but what I would do, the approach I would take is, you'd say to the person, you don't know me. I live in the neighborhood, and my name is Kim. You don't know me, but my name's Kim, and I live in the neighborhood here. And I'm doing a survey of people that are sitting in local restaurants. And I wonder if I could just ask you one question. I promise, just one. And then you tell me the answer, and then I'll be on my way, because they're paying me to get these questions answered. And I want to kind of I don't want them to can me. And this is my first question. This is my first person. Well, when we've done that, people say, oh, what do you need? Right? Because you're asking for help. I'm supposed to ask these, I got to ask these questions, right? So you're not looking for help. You're looking for, going around asking people who are in our local restaurants a question or two. And I wonder if I could just ask you this something. And the person say, shoot. And you might say, well, you know, I have this business and we are marketing this product for people who, you know, don't get enough of enough vegetables in their diet, let's say, or whatever, or they know the food doesn't have enough nutrients. They know they're not eating right, let's say. And I wonder if you think that anybody, you know, in this neighborhood, in this area would be interested in knowing about a product that would help somebody like that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're not hitting them up. But if they go, oh my God, I don't eat right. I'm eating here. Look at this, all this mashed potatoes and, you know, and you can say, well, give me your name and your email and I'll send you a little email. But we're looking for people who might know people who might like to know about something like that. Now, do you think you could do that?
Yeah.
See, then you're not looking like you're a leech, right? This lecherous person who has this agenda that a lot of us don't like because we know what the real purpose of the meeting is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest. One of the reasons that a lot of women in particular, I'll just tell you, a lot of us have trouble approaching people on with the form, you know, the friends and, friends, occupation. Oh, John, what's the R? Recreation and money, I think, money or mission. When we know that the end goal is to see if we can help them but sell them something. Mm-hmm. And that conflict keeps a lot of women from doing what you're trying to do here. And so if you don't recognize that, you are never going to go and do it, and you'll blame yourself and you think something's wrong with you. There is not anything wrong with you. There is a double mixed fork in your mind, and one of them is approaching and helping, and the other is knowing that you're going to get paid if she buys. And she is going to find out that you're going to get paid if she buys. Mm-hmm. So you're better off just be straight. You know, I got to ask a couple people questions, and, you know, I'm in the neighborhood and I wonder if I can just ask you one thing. And have your clipboard. Get yourself a clipboard. Get some, sheets of paper in it. We used to have a first name, last name, and it had a phone number in those days. But today I would put an email and say, so my question is, you know, we're marketing this product, or I'm introducing this product. My company's introducing this product, right? That's the language right out of the Orange Book, by the way. All this is scripted out for people who have trouble eating at the right time of day, for people who can't sleep at night, for people who, Marianne was telling me you guys have some kind of product where people can, for the artsy fartsies, for people where you can put like stuff on cups and mugs. And if that's the case, I would be wearing something that you'd made, right? And say, you know, we market this product for people who are really artsy fartsy types, but they don't want to go to fancy art school. And they don't want to have to go to New York, and they don't want to deal with Madison Avenue. They just want to make their own stuff online. So I'm asking you, do you think there are people in this area who might like to know about something like that? That's it. And they'll say either no. If it's not them, it's no for sure. But if it's them, it might be me. What is it? Right? They say, give me your name, because don't stand right there. You don't want to look needy. Say, let me get back to you, and I'll show you what it is so you can see. But I got to go around and get all these, you know, I got to ask enough people here. I got to get 12 people today. So thanks for the info, and I'll get back to you. And if artsy fartsy, what kind of art do you do? You could just say, oh, you know, do you do t-shirts? Do you do mugs? Do you do stuff? What do you do? And the person will say, well, I'm into t-shirts, or I want to make my sheets look like this, or I want pillowcases, or I want this or that. Say, okay, cool. When I get back to you, I'll find just that and show you what they have in case, you know, it's a match. I'll see you later. Toodaloo. Bye. Always running off first, right? Always backing away first. So the person goes, and that's how you want to leave it. You leave them always hankering for more. It's like dating, right? If you're an easy scorer, you're not going to have too many dates with the same guy or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you always want to be pulling away just when because all it does is make the desire stronger. We've done this around the world in I don't know how many countries, in so many different languages. And it's just a wonderful thing to see because it empowers you. And you've done something good. You've asked a person a real opinion. Do they know anyone who might like to know about? Do you think that would sell in this neighborhood? Do you think people want that sort of thing? And you focus on the before and after of the product or the mix or the family of products or whatever you've got, the service, because your company sells a lot, that has done something for you, right? Do you think you'd be able to do that a little bit better?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. And then and so if I said to you, so what do you do? What would you say? Remember the first line that we're testing now? Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
I have my own. What do you do? Let me hear. I have my own business. What do you do? You remember that?
Oh, I have my own business. What do you do?
Yeah. Now, how does it feel when you say that? Do you feel like a beggar?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you can see right on video. You're right there. It's all radiant. It's perfect. Because that's the position you want, a position of strength, personal strength. So a lot of these ideas that I'm talking about are designed to keep your self-esteem intact, and so that you don't feel like you're begging, or that you have really a double goal of pretending to. A lot of people said, I don't want to make friends to sell them. So one way to avoid that feeling is to do this type of an approach. Yeah. Okay. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hey, Miss Kim.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any questions from anybody about this kind of stuff?
Marianne, we're like sisters. We have Joan is asking, she said she didn't have a mic available, but she would like to ask you for an approach for a vendor booth about greeting them and ask if they're looking for any help. And it sounds to me like the clipboard version would work very well for that.
Right. So you're saying you're at an event, you have a booth, or you are cruising as a guest? Which one?
Joan, which was it? If you can type it. At an event, she said, if she's at an event.
You mean you're going as a visitor? Are you going as a visitor, or do you have a booth, or?
She said people are coming to my booth.
Oh, so she has a booth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, well, we do things really very, I don't really know that you want my answer, but we've done booths, and we do really well with booths. And we normally do not, I'll just warn you, the approaches we use are very different. And because my whole thing is generate demand and curiosity first. I don't ever want to tell people what I've got, because then all the mystery is gone. Oh, you're one of those people doing one of those things, right? That's what everybody does. Here, buy my great thing. Buy my stuff. Nobody cares. So the way we set up our booths, people didn't know what the name of the company was. They didn't. And we would have things like, so the gal who's speaking, what is your favorite product, your before and after? And I'll tell you how we would do that.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, no, for the one who was asking about the booth. What is she going to market in there? What's her favorite thing?
Go Chi, she says. Go Chi.
Well, what is that? What does it do for you? Is she one of yours? One of the?
She is not. She's not one of my downline. She just had written a question and
but that's
asked
okay.
to
I'm just wondering is it a product of Longevity's?
Yes, it is. It is a product of ours.
Okay,
Free
so
Life. It's a brand new line that we've just acquired, and I guess it's a high antioxidant drink. Is that correct, Marianne? Goshi? Yes, she says yes. Joan says yes. It's a high antioxidant
so
drink.
ask the lady who's asking the question, what's her before and after for using that?
She said it makes her feel good. Can you be more specific?
Yeah, so does the
Joan?
gin and tonic. What else?
All right, Joan, tell us. It improves my immunity, she says.
Okay, that sounds like it came out of a committee. So why don't you pretend that you're speaking to your grandma and tell her what this product has done for you. Give me those words. Hello, Grandma. Let me tell you, I'm taking this product and here's what's happened to me so far. Let me hear that.
Hey, Grandma, I'm taking this product and it is helping me so well.
Well, she wouldn't say that to her grandmother. She'd be way more specific. So ask the lady who's got the product for that answer.
Joan, what answer would you say, sweetheart?
So she doesn't have a mic. So she's just
We're waiting for her to type. Yeah.
Type in what it is that she would say. But
Because if you think about this, if you're talking to your grandma, you're not going to say it made me feel good. What you're going to say is, Grandma.
Okay,
you know
here
what
she
happened?
is.
You
I
know-
used to have colds all the time. Now I am healthy.
Well, that's slightly better. But I don't think you'd say that to your grandma. I mean, just picture sitting there with your favorite auntie or your grandma at the kitchen table. And you say, Grandma, I've been taking this stuff, and guess what? You know how I used to have colds all the time? Well, at night at 3 p.m. I'd have the sniffle. Well, guess what? I don't have it anymore. Do you remember how you couldn't go to the bathroom at night or in the morning? Or the personal things are what come up. Because you're talking to your favorite auntie or your grandma or your mom. You can't sound like the language is coming out of the committee or the brochure. Then it'll be clear you don't have any experience. What sells is your story, because that's what other people relate to. So you want to say, use words that you would use speaking to your grandma. Do you know what I mean? Which include, Grandma, I used to be, I got stuck all the time. I was constipated all the time. Well, now I'm not anymore. And you know how I used to have that thing behind my ear? Well, I don't anymore. I don't have this anymore. Or now I can do this again. Or I couldn't, but now I can. So you take those specific words, and what I would do is put something on the booth, for example, that, we had one for the fruits and veggies and capsules. And I think we had something like how to get your 5 fruits and veggies every day without having to shop, prep, cook, and clean them up. Find out here how. And we had a line outside of our booth wanting to know how they could do that. Because we didn't give the answer. You see, if you give the answer, the mystery's gone. It's like streakers. They, well, so what's left to see? Nothing. So that's why people keep their clothes on, to have some mystery. And people asked some years ago, how come Madonna makes so much money, more money than the highest paid stripper? And you know what the answer was? Then, and probably true now, is because she never takes it all off. That's why. The other person wants to buy. If you put out there what you've got in their face, they can't buy. You've pushed it on them already. Do you see what I mean? Does this make sense, you guys? Say yes. Let me hear. Okay, let me get the little chat here and see.
Yes, ma'am.
I bet I could see that.
Perfect sense. Can you, you want to take a look at the chat?
Yeah. It's a drink that makes you feel good. Yeah. So this gin and tonic, like I said. So, but you could say, it's a drink that makes you feel good and it doesn't have any alcohol. That'd be kind of sweet. I could do that, right? Without the alcohol. How do you set up the second meeting with them? How do you follow up? What I would do is, depends on, do you all have email? I mean, you're not just doing belly-to-belly stuff, right? Everybody has email. What I would say is, I probably, if I were doing these restaurant things, I would, or Kinko's or standing in line at the bank or any of that, I would always have my clipboard or something like a clipboard and my list of name and email with me. First name, last name, and email. And then if somebody said, well, I might be interested in that, say, okay, let me get back to you because I got to finish this. Remember, you're busy getting people. Don't look like an easy you-know-what. And I'll get back to you. I'll email you like in the next day or so. This is the best email to get you? Yep. Okay, if you see an email, the subject is going to say, remember we met at the mall. Will you remember that? The person goes, yeah, I'll remember that. What have you just done? You planted it right in their brain. The subject of the email is going to be, we met at the mall. We met at Lulu's restaurant. We met on the street corner at Pine and Moon, right? And then you remember and put that in the email subject. We met at blah, blah, blah. You think she's not going to remember? Are you kidding me? So boom, you have that right there. And then the message can say, remember we met, and I'm not sure, you were just being nice or, whether you really are looking for a change. But if you do, let's set up a time to chat. I can call you. I would not give them a website. I can call you and just see if what we have really is suitable for you or not. Because it doesn't really work for everybody. It only works for some people. And that makes people go ape. Crazy. I have no idea why that is, but it just does. When you tell them it doesn't really work for everybody, but only some people, so let's chat and let me see if it's going to work for you. If I could recommend it for you, they go, well, why? What do you mean it might not work for me? Well, it doesn't work for everybody. So let's set up a time. I'll tell you what it is. And what do? You kind of are doing, like, in your mind, a little bit of a diagnosis. So instead of prescribing that whatever you've got is it for them, before you know jack about them, give them the joy of saying, well, it might not be, I don't know if it's going to work for you or not. Does it work for everybody? And then they're going to go. And now this is marketing. See, you may think it works for everybody, but I'm sure your product does not work for everybody. There are people who say they can't feel anything. Isn't that right? So what else is new? Who cares? Nothing's for everybody. God is not for everybody. Some people don't like God, you know, and some people don't want to be alive. They commit suicide. So you got to get over that your thing is the best and the only thing in the world for everybody, because people are very different and there are many of them. So you want the ones where there's a match, like shopping for shoes. Your women's Nike size 8, you know, like that. So I would then get on the phone and say, okay, so you were interested in figuring out how to lose weight without having to eat, you know, rabbit food, let's say. Or you're interested in getting your energy back because you know you're not eating right. Is that right? And the person goes, yeah. Then you would have a series of interview questions that you would do anyway. You know, I have them in the orange book, but you'd have a series of questions and it would say, so how long has this been kind of going on? How long have you wanted to make this change? What have you done already about it? And how has that worked so far? Right? So let me tell you what we've got here. Number one, before I tell you what we've got, let me tell you, you'd have to try it for 90 days. Are you good with that? You lead with the objection yourself. If somebody says to me, we've got to try it for 90 days, it's like, of course I'm going to try it for 90 days. You think I can't do this or something? What's wrong with you? You know, you can do it, I can do it. So what else? And you lay down the conditions. You have to let me show you that how to take it and how to do it, because otherwise it might not work. Oh, well, I'll do it. I'll take it like this. I'll do it in the morning. I'll do it in the afternoon. I'll do whatever you say. That's how you structure this, you see. And then you say, okay, I'm going to let you try it. So here's what it is for, and then they'll say, well, how much is it? Right? And you can say, well, let me tell you how it comes. How much is it? Well, let me tell you how it comes. It depends. We've got the big fat package, you know, of this stuff. That's enough for you, the beach house, the grandparents, everybody. And we've got the little starter package, let's say. And the big kahuna, big one. And you don't use any words people don't understand. You don't use your company product names. Just the big one is, I don't know, $1,500. And the little one to get started is, I don't know, $125. And I got started with the big one, but you might want to get started with the small one, see if you really love it. And half the time, the people who say yes would have said no to everything. But you always do the contrast. Well, the big one is this much, that's for you and the beach house and the kids and, you know, all the extended family and whatnot. And then the little package, starter, see if you can test it, see if you love it, but for 90 days, is this. That's how you run it. Does that make sense? Does it help a little bit? Okay, cool. All right. Any questions about this? Okay, good. All right. Nice to see you, Jean. And if you would like some of this stuff, I can. I have a free ebook called "If My Product's So Great, How Come I Can't Sell It?" And if I checked with Tom to be sure it would be okay to give this to you. Would you like to have that so you can use it to make scripts like this? Doesn't matter to me. You can do it or not. For this particular one, when you get the book, you have to put your name and email in, and you will be on a list of mine that gives you tips on how to market in this way. So you tell me if you excited. And if you do, I will put it in. And if you're shy, I won't put it in.
Put it in.
Want it? So yes. Okay. So let me give you this, and I will put it in here to everyone. Okay. So let me give you this one. And then I have something that you might like. You know, one way to market, my favorite way to market is not by leading with the product or the company, because that's not really interesting to other people. Did you know that? That when you say, oh, I'm a member of, that they kind of go ho-hum. Have you ever noticed that? It's like it doesn't really do anything for them. And one of the first company I ever did, I'll tell you this because I think for some of you that you'll realize why you had a hard time talking to people. My first company was selling water filters, and I happened to be a health nut. I was a water nut. I was already drinking bottled water, and we paid like $1 a gallon. And I sold like $60,000 or $70,000 worth of these water filters in my first 90 days with that company. And without any recruiting, I didn't even know you should recruit. But after that, I got really good at recruiting. And so they asked me to come on stage and tell people how I had done that. And I thought, that's, I can tell you how I did that. And I just wanted to share something with you that that's for some of you, it's going to click right away. And I want you to know what it is. Before we hang up, I had a real estate business, and I saw this little blue water filter. NSA is the company. It's where a lot of us got started. Jeff Olson, Eric Worre, all of us got started there. And so we all go back a long ways. And so what happened there is they had this little water filter, a little blue one, and I saw it at some Taekwondo event, and I asked the guy who had it, where do you get those? Because I thought that was cool. It was a nice little filter, and I didn't want to drink the water out of the that the restaurant had. And so that's how I got started. I bought one, and I liked it, and I decided to sell them because I liked it. I was into clean water. So what happened on my phone calls, I got all the company brochures, I got the blue box, I got all that stuff, and I didn't use the company brochures, and I didn't use any of the company stuff that they had to sell it because I forgot it all as soon as I saw what it was. Because to me, and this for some of you will really change your life, I tested it and I liked it. And that was enough for me. I'm a good judge for myself, and I figured that's enough for me. I don't need all this other stuff. Because I am a water freak, see? So what happened is on the phone, I would have conversations with other brokers, with tenants, with Metropolitan Life, all these companies that we were doing business with, or title companies, and I would say, okay, so at the end of the conversation about the real estate piece of whatever was going on, I would say, hey, listen, can I ask you something that has nothing to do with what we just talked about? It has to do with your water. And the person would say, yeah, what's the question? And I would say this, I said this for almost a year, and I sold more of that stuff than anybody in their company history ever. Since then and today, they don't sell the water filters anymore. They've become a different company now. They sell fruits and veggies and capsules. So I would say, okay, so my question is, do you drink the caca out of the faucet, or do you buy your water for $1 a gallon? That was the question. Caca is spelled K-A-K-A. So the person that was it. Nothing more. And the person would say, well, either. Oh my God, Kim, what do you mean drink the caca out of the faucet? What do you have to say that for? Or they would say, I already have filtered water. I pay $1 a gallon. What have you got? What are you talking about? So those were the two situations, right? And then what happened is people would say, well, what's the caca? What do you mean caca? What does that mean? And I say, well, you know how you stand under the shower, and I don't know if you know this, but when you're showering, you get bleach water on your face and on your body. So if you care at all about your skin and you're spending, I don't know, a couple $100 a month on skincare, and then you're standing there bleaching your whole body, is that what you want to do? You know what bleach does to skin? It makes you look like 100 years old before you're done, right? You look like a crinkled up being. You guys all know this about bleaching. You're standing there in your shower, you got to be nuts. If you spend money on your skin and your hair, and you stand there and get bleached every day, oh, no way. So, and if you put your hands under there all the time, if you think you've got problems with your hands, I don't, but if I did, because I never let them touch the water, and I'm not like freaked out about it. We have rubber gloves, and everybody who works for me has got rubber gloves so that I don't add to them looking bad. So when they said, what is the caca? What did that mean for me? I mean, I didn't analyze it, but it allowed me to tell them why I thought the faucet water was caca. It's why I drank filtered water to begin with. So that won over about 6 out of 10. And they said, well, let me try this because I don't want this caca either, right? Then the filtered water, the people who said, well, I drink the filtered water already, what have you got? I would say, well, I've been drinking that for 5 years and schlepping it up the stairs and doing all this. So this is $0.05 a gallon instead of $1 a gallon. It's just a little filter. So you can try it if you want, see if you love it, like I do. That's the question. And 6 out of 10 said yes. And of those people that tried the products, because of course these people I did business with, 6 out of 10 said Yes, also at the end when they tried it. And we sold so many of them, we had pickup trucks going out every Saturday with my college kids delivering all these filters. And notice they didn't know the name of the company or the product when they said yes. Why? Because it's the issue, the problem that they wanted solved. That came first. And it came from someone who had the problem and overcame it. Does that make sense to you guys? I just want to be sure that you realize this is a way of reaching out to find what the needs are by expressing them yourself. You see,
Kim, we are
based on your own values.
Hi there.
Your own values. Got to have those values.
Delighted to meet you.
Oh, Kim,
I'm
it's
also delighted
Marianne.
that you got my book. If
Yes.
I
it's
just
great,
clicked
how come I
through
can't
to
sell
get
it?
your book, so
That
I'm all
book actually
excited.
was about.
Okay, cool.
But you know what? We've been at this for like an hour, over an hour. And
Okay, we can
so,
quit.
go ahead.
Right now we can quit. I put that link in there if you want to hear the water example and how I did a lot of things like that.
Okay.
This is a free interview. You know, Marianne, you know this guy, if the MLM Nation guy,
Mm-hmm.
he does all these interviews. You know, he doesn't like advertise anything. This is like a free one. You can hear this interview I did with him. I think it's one of his most listened to ones now. And I talk about how I sold based on these values. So if you guys are interested in that, you totally can, you can have it. And if you want to come to my Facebook page, yeah, you know, for some of you guys might like to see my Facebook page. I post a lot of stuff. You're welcome to come. And I post almost every day. So,
Kim, we love you.
Any burning questions, girlfriend, before we hang up?
I love this approach, and I just appreciate you so much and what you're doing for the profession, and you know, giving away these things for us on our team is amazing. So thank you. You did an awesome job. I don't, you know, certainly maybe we'll have you come back another time. Tom is smiling as he's driving to the airport. So
No, we're here, Kim. Kim, you were unbelievable. And
What did you say? I can't hear you, honey. What did you say?
I'm on my way to Australia right now. I watched you all the way to the airport, kid.
He said he's unbelievable, Kim.
Oh, well, I think he's unbelievable too. And let me just tell you something that you all should know. When you have somebody, you know, and when you have somebody that is as successful as Tom has become, to have him be there every day with you guys is really extraordinarily rare. I know many of the top players, and they are so uppity and so full of themselves and so disgustingly arrogant. When you get somebody like Tom, I just want to hug him for remembering who he is really. Because he's just a guy who's got a wife, and together they found some really good people. And those people are out there still looking for you. So don't change when you become successful. Be always somewhat humble. Happy, but humble also. And because he's very different in that regard. He really is quite unique. And the fact that he dared to have me come on here, when everybody, you know, it's like, I tell you, I have one mission, is get your self-esteem up where it belongs. And when you're being encouraged to do things that make you feel like, well, crap, I can't do this. Because of the double, you know that you're not asking about their health just to ask about their health. Then do the survey approach. And maybe when we have another call, I'll show you how we used to stand in New York City. At every one of the Starbucks, we'd have 50 of us. And we would do the survey method outside of all these Starbucks. We signed up so many people, dozens every week doing that.
Wow.
And you learn how to do it. And you need a little story, and there's no pretending. It's, hey, do you think anybody in the 5-block area, right, you would want to know about something like that? No, yes, 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 no, 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 no. And we always got 4 or 5 people. We did it in the financial district. We walked with financial suits. The suits, we had an office space in the Omni offices. And we'd wait at the lights. We'd all be there 6:30 till 9 a.m. About 8 or 10 of us, good-looking women. We were like just totally hot. And we all would pick somebody who was not engaged, not having a big conversation, wait for the light, wait with them, fall right in step with them, walk across the street. By the time we were done, the person would say, yeah, I'd like to know where your event's going to be because we want to see how to make 30 grand a month. Because we were pulling that in. We thought that was great. And we were women going after the men, so they thought, well, God, if she can do it, I can do it for sure. And we would have meetings every noon to 1. at a classy suite right in the financial district in San Francisco and have 15, 30 people every single day and always sign up 4 or 5 people for whatever the biggest package was that we had every day.
Wow.
And it's about you knowing what you're really doing and being transparent and saying, look, I don't know if you can do this, but what if you could? What if you could do this? Don't make it look like any idiot can do it, because they can't. We have a 95% dropout rate.
Yeah.
So be real and say, well, I don't know if I can do this, but I tell you what, I'm going to do it because I know how to do it. You just learn how to do it. If you think you can't sell, well, it's because you can't right now. But what if you decide you're going to become someone who can?
Yeah.
Right? If you're an introvert, what if you decide, well, I'm an introvert? Well, fine. So you could become an extrovert. Have 2 identities. Learn how.
Yeah.
Really. You can do these things, right? You just have to decide. So that's it. All right.
Awesome. I love it. We're gonna have a recording of this. So.
Oh, good. Would you send it to me? Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Love
you
you guys.
See ya.
We're gonna unmute. Everybody's gonna say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Travels, Tom.
Thank you. Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
Kim.
You're awesome.
This is the number you have, but I call us.